up early, sun shining bright. Got the flag, got the fight. Ready for the big game today. College football fever. Yeah. Dugout's packed, the crowd's alive, cheerleaders spinning, waving flags, game day magic feels like home. With Mondo, D-Truth, Lunu, and Sniper on the mic. Are you ready for some college football Saturday? Let's cheer for our team, feeling the thrill of the game, screaming, jumping, never slowing down. Together we're unstoppable. Can't you feel the fun? Marching band, drums rolling out, tailgating, burgers cooking good. The field's lit, the energy's high. We're ready, let's make history. Coach is yelling, players running fast, from Texas to Notre Dame, Georgia, Clemson, USC, Tennessee, Bama to Ohio State, defending their crown. The final whistle, the crowd roars, victory we won, it's all worth it. High fives, hugs, we're all one. College football fever, we own it. Are you ready for some college football Saturday? Let's cheer for our team, feeling the thrill of the game, screaming, jumping, never slowing down. Together we're unstoppable. Can't you feel the fun? Mondo, D-Truth, you kill, we're unstoppable. Saturday morning kickoff show, we ride from morning till night, we're on fire. This is the season we're the pride.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy College Football Saturday, everyone. Happy College Football Saturday, everyone. Good morning, fellas. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. We had a tease last Saturday. Now the big boys come out and play again this Saturday. What's going on with you, fellas?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? And welcome everyone to the Kickoff Show, College Football Saturday morning Kickoff Show. I'm your host, Armando Black, and I got my co-host here with me, Sniper, D-Truth. Salute, brother. Salute. Hell of a weekend last weekend. And just give me your overall assessment of what happened last week and the games that we didn't get a chance to really react to. The LSU Clemson game for one, the Notre Dame Miami game. We didn't get a chance to react to any of those. So let's just do a brief reaction of what happened on week one.
Last week was exciting. It was you got to see the beginning of new teams starting to step up. You've seen teams that everybody expect. You've seen players that everybody expected to do well that didn't do well. But I mean, it's the first game of the season. I think the first game of the season hype is over. Now it's the second game of the season hype until we start getting to conference play.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I can say, me personally, what I took from week one is that from my eye test and from the body of work that everyone has done, to me, in my opinion, there's only two teams that I can honestly say that I really don't have any questions about, and that is Ohio State and LSU. They were battle tested. They had the toughest opponents on the biggest stage. Both, most experts had them as underdogs, even though Vegas had Ohio State as the favorite. But a lot of the talking heads were saying that not only was Texas going to go up there and win, but it could have been a blowout. So Ohio State, in my opinion, right now is the clear cut best team in the nation, followed by LSU. And then I would have to put the one thing I disagree with the AP poll, I would have to put Miami at number 3. I would have to put Miami at number 3, then Penn State at number 4, and then Georgia at number 5, because we know what Ohio State, LSU, and Miami are working with. They played some tough competition. LSU played the national champion runner-ups. I'm sorry. Miami played the national champion runner-ups and pretty much dominated most of the game. LSU played Clemson, a team that a lot of experts picked to win the national championship this year. And Ohio State, we know what they did. Matt Patricia's defense, they shut Arch Manning down. They made him look like a JV quarterback instead of a Heisman candidate. So those 3 teams, I really don't have any questions about moving forward. I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship. But in my opinion, those 3 teams are playoff teams. They are barring any catastrophe, God forbid, any serious injury happening to any of the players. Those 3 teams are built for the playoffs in 2025, in my opinion. Everyone else below them, I still have a few questions about. Now,
you know, when we get to this point right here, I gotta test your temperature a little bit. How on game 1, first week, you can say what a team is? Yeah, they did play some tough games, right? And and they did play some, but when do we? It's like the preseason rankings. It's the first game of the season, bro. You can never know what's going to happen this week. Salute to you, Bacardi. You can never, you never know what could happen this week. That's why I don't put the trust in the rankings. I don't put the trust until we start getting deeper into the season. I'm not saying I disagree with you on some of the things. I picked a majority of those teams last week to win, but I got to see more. Because again, yeah, Clemson lost last week, but can go on a tear this week. You know what I'm saying? Because they're playing a lot of young players. Ohio State is playing a lot of returning players. So they still got that juice from last week or from last year.
On
but I
defense,
see what you're saying, bro. I see
Ohio
what you're saying.
State. On a lot of players. They're returning a lot of players. But on offense, they're very young. They're very young on offense. Is my audio acting up?
What's up?
Yeah,
Fred?
it's kind of going.
It
was going in and out for a little bit. Go ahead and repeat what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was basically saying is that Ohio State is young on defense. They're bringing back. They brought back some players on defense, but they're young on offense. They have a new quarterback. They have a new backfield. Half of their O-line is underclassmen. They're very young on offense. And for them to do what they did, they control the ball. I think if the play calling would have been a little bit better, if Ryan Day would have been a little bit more aggressive like he was in the playoffs with the play calling, I think the game could have gotten a lot more uglier. In my opinion, that defense, the way they played and the way they shut Texas down last Saturday, I think that defense is going to be better than what it was last year. Because, like I said on the Dog Call show, the real score was 14-0. Salute to you, D. Santana, 225 girl, Bacardo Obama. Salute to you, D. True. Sometimes you just know when you know. Like I said last year in August, everybody was saying, "Oh, how you know Ohio State?" Sometimes you know when you know when you know when you know. and not too many people gave them a chance to beat Texas. You got to remember that was a payback game on week 1. Texas had, and people can make all the excuses they want for Arch Manning. They had an entire winter, spring, and summer to get ready for that game. All this crap about Matt Patricia this, Matt Patricia that, Matt Patricia, They had several months to prepare for that game. And they went up there and they got totally dominated. That one touchdown, the kid did not catch the ball. He trapped the ball. The real score was 14-0. In my opinion, in the opinions of a lot of people, they laid a goose egg up there in Columbus. And Miami, that team is much improved. They're reloaded, and the cherry on top, they have a quarterback. They have a quarterback again. So and look, Notre Dame, that was not no cupcake team. That was the national champion runner-up that also returned a lot of starters on defense. Both DBs were the same guys I was watching in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in January. Okay, both of those corners were there in that game against Ohio State. And listen, that kid, the freshman Malachi Tony, which I don't know why the hell he was classified as a 3-star, where that kid clearly plays like a 5-star. They had no answer for him. CJ Daniels, he looked like Jamar Chase out there. That Miami is in that defense. Toby Bain's son, Ruben Bain, look out. Future Buckets Award winner. Just watch the tape. Just look at the tape. I watched that game from start to finish. That team is dangerous. That team, in my opinion, that may be the ACC champions of 2025. That may be the ACC, because I'm looking at everybody else's body of work. Georgia Tech, I'm looking at Clemson. Clemson came in with a lot of hype, Sniper. I understand what you're saying. They came in with a lot of hype. Most people were picking them to not only beat LSU, but dominate them. And it went totally different. It went totally different. LSU shut the lights off in Death Valley Jr. or the fake Death Valley, or whatever you want to call it. But hey, I'm looking at the body of work. I'm not looking at no damn preseason rankings. I'm looking at the body of work against teams that they played that were legit, that we were told that were legit, that also were bringing back players. And Clemson is just like Penn State. Remember, I said this back in August. Clemson is bringing back a loaded team, a very deep, experienced team, a lot of upperclassmen. They're not loaded with freshmen and sophomores like Georgia and Ohio State and a couple of other teams that are in the top 10. Clemson is one of the most experienced. Next to Penn State, they're the most experienced team in the top 10. Remember that.
But I'm going to say this right here. Week 1, I told you what week 1 was already. Week 0, week 1, I told you what it was. Most of them games were trap games. So I'm not surprised how some of them games went. I'm not surprised. But yeah, Ohio State did this last year, right? They did all this hoopla last year. Yeah, regardless, they won the national championship last year. But the problem is, Ohio State was hyped up so much. They don't have a better team than Michigan had the last 4 years. And what have they done? Laid a goose egg. I don't care if it's in Michigan. I don't care if it's in Ohio. They had laid a goose egg against Michigan. Until they could prove to me they can beat Michigan in that last game of the year. I don't care how many national championships they win. I don't care how many championships. I don't care.
That's the end. That's the end goal. The end goal, D-Truth, to win a national title.
But look, if you win a national title, look, if they didn't win,
How many times has Bama lost the Iron Bowl and still went on to win the national title? Your end goal is to coming into a season is to win a national title.
Facts.
You can lose one game and still go on and win the national title. Hell, Ohio State, they should have won it in 2022. If that kicker wouldn't have botched the field goal kick against us, they would have went on and blow TCU out also. They did the same thing TCU that we did.
Oh, but go ask something on Ohio State fan. Hey, go ask something on Ohio State fan. Which one they really have? Losing 4 straight to Michigan or a national championship?
So let me ask you this, DJ.
Let me ask you this. I'm married to an Ohio State fan, and she is very, 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 very satisfied about the national championship ring, brother.
That's what I'm saying. Come on. That's what I'm saying. Until they beat Michigan. Look, if you beat Michigan, that loaded off the doggone back. He hasn't done it in 4 years. This is gonna be the 5th year.
Well, you're thinking about November. You're thinking about late November. Mm-hmm. The discussion is today, the here and now. In September the 6th, 2025, right now, from my eye test, from what I saw last Saturday, leading up until this morning, okay, right now, in my opinion, Ohio State is still the best team in the nation right now, as we speak. Because they took down a team. They took down a team that I have not seen a team come into a season with this much hype since the 2012 Alabama Crimson Tide. That's the last time I seen a team to come into a season with this much hype.
I ain't gonna say.
Wait. It's let me ask you a question, D-True. Let me ask you a D-True. If Auburn loses every game until November, and this happened to beat Alabama, you'll be satisfied?
Hell yeah. Because I got bragging right on them. Shit.
You got bragging right
I got bragging right on them. I got bragging right. I got bragging right on them.
But listen,
you don't understand. Like, you don't understand. Look here. Oh, I'd be happy with that championship, but lose to an arch rival? Lose to an arch rival 4 years in a row? Come on, bro.
But I'm just saying,
maybe maybe a 5th year, bro.
But
that championship now, that championship make me happy, yeah. But guess what? I'm still not satisfied because we ain't beat our arch rival.
So
in other words, you'll be satisfied if Georgia Tech beat you 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row, and get one national championship. You'll be satisfied.
You know what?
You'll be satisfied.
Hey, listen.
You'll be satisfied.
Can I Georgia Tech still?
Look. Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. No, hey, listen. Yes, you know why? Because they can say, "Oh, we beat you," and we be like, "Yes," but you know what? I got this golden trophy in my locker room right now. I have this. My name is on the top. You might be the top of. You might be, and I understand what you're saying about your in-state rivals or your arch rivals, but at the end of the day, it will be beat Georgia Tech, lose the national championship, lose to Georgia Tech, win the national championship. Just like Armando said, when they wake up on that Labor Day weekend, their minds are on beating the team in front of them, and the long-term goal is to make it to the national championship and possibly win it. It's not just but it is to beat that team. And also, and I'm not going to be long-winded, but also it's who did they lose to last year that they got it circled? Who embarrassed them last year? But at the end of the day, if Georgia lost to Georgia Tech, yes, I'm going to be pissed off about it. But if they're hosting up that gold trophy at the end of the day, and I get to say my team's a national champion for the whole year, man, hey, Georgia Tech, you can have that.
I understand what you said, but you think those seniors from Michigan and Ohio State, Guess what? Them see said, them see from Michigan said, I'll beat you 4 years in a row. You know how much that sting? They can say I won the national championship, but that 4 years in a row, I'll beat you 4 years in a row. That's even worse. You haven't beat me, yeah. That's even worse.
That's
Hey,
just like
worse.
me. That's just like me asking a Falcons fan, which would you rather have? 2-0 against the Saints, or to go 2 and what is now what 2-15, where your 2 wins are against the Saints, or would you rather go 15-2 and win a Super Bowl? Every damn Falcon fans would say, hell, well, damn the Saints, let's get a Super Bowl. I mean, come on.
Facts.
Come on.
Hey, you know
it
the
sounds
only time-
good. It
but
sounds
listen,
real good.
hey,
But
hey,
hold on. But later in the year, get older. Guess what? Nobody gonna remember. Look, who actually gonna remember that national championship?
Say what?
Right. Hey, how many times have Ryan Day been on the hot seat for not winning against Michigan? What actually
Man,
saved
come
him?
on.
How many?
Come on.
Look, if he don't
Come
win the
on,
national,
bro.
if he lose to Michigan and don't win the national championship, then what?
He ain't on no hot seat.
Hey,
That I
bro,
can
he
tell
just-
you, he is not on no hot seat.
If he loses to Michigan again, he will
No,
be and don't win the national championship. That's the only thing that saved his ass. You know that.
He is not on no hot seat, bro. I correspond with a lot of Ohio State fans. He's not on no hot seat, man. He's not on no hot seat, even though he has a 4-game losing streak against Michigan. But the man has won a national title, and you also got to look at his body of work. He beats everybody else. With the exception of Georgia, he has beaten everybody else that he's played against. The only team that has beaten Ohio State in the last 3 years, has been Michigan, Oregon, and Georgia. That's it. Now, show me another coach with that kind of winning percentage. The only one that may come close to that would be Kirby. Do you think the people down there in Tuscaloosa would not let Ohio State be dumb enough to let him go? You know where he'll end up at? Down there in Tuscaloosa. You think they would be happy to have him? Or he'll end up in Gainesville? Or he'll end up out there in LA at USC? Come on, man. The man ain't going nowhere. The man is not going anywhere.
Yeah. And
But
at the end of the day,
but
at the end of the day,
but you got to beat your rival, bro. You got to do that.
don't. Yeah, but your rivalry is not going to. At the end of the day, if you are, let's just say it like this right here. You don't beat your rivalry, but you're in the playoffs every year. Do you think he's going to be on the hot seat? And he makes it to the quarterfinals. He makes it to the semifinals every year. Don't win the national championship, but he's there, or he's close to it. That program, no, he's on his way. It's just a matter of time. But you can't. I agree with you and disagree with you all at the same time, and sum up like this right here. If Ohio State won the national championship, Ohio State haven't beat Michigan, just like Georgia can't beat Alabama, but nobody's going to say let's fire him because he can't beat Michigan. They just want to be sore. They'd be sore for a couple of weeks. But I know what cool off that sore. That national championship. They can rub that trophy right on those bruised legs, those bruised arms, those bruised backs. All that goes out the window when you win a national championship.
And I understand what D-Truth is saying.
Yes,
I agree
sir.
with
Yes,
both
sir.
of you. The both of y'all are right. But D-Truth, you're thinking about Gene Chisnett and Ed Orgeron. But see, this is the problem. This is what you're forgetting, okay? Gene Chisnett was just not losing to Bama after 2010. He was losing to Georgia. He was losing to LSU. He was losing to damn. He started losing to Ole Miss. He started losing to Texas A&M. He was losing to everybody else. And the same thing can be said with Ed Orgeron, man. He was losing to Troy. He lost the homecoming game against Troy. So you got, look, man, the man, Ryan Day, he has not lost to anyone other than Oregon, Georgia, and Michigan. In the last, you got to go all the way back to 2019 when they lost that playoff game to Clemson. After that, this decade, this team has only lost to 3 teams: Oregon, Georgia, and Michigan. And all 3 of those games, all 3 of those teams that they lost to, with the exception of 2021, Michigan blew them out, blew the brakes off of them. But those other games were very close. The game against Georgia that they lost, close. The game against Oregon, both games, 2021 and the game last year, was close. So you got to put some respect on Ryan Day. You got to put some respect on the man. The man is a hell of a coach, and he has a better winning percentage than Jim Tressel, a better winning percentage than Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer, let's talk about him, all right? The one that everybody loves to put up on a pedestal. He was losing to Iowa. He got embarrassed by Purdue. He lost to Penn State. I mean, think about it now. Man, Ryan Day ain't going nowhere. They would be crazy. They would be crazy to let that man leave out of Columbus. Because I'm telling you, the minute he does, he's going to get a phone call from Tuscaloosa or Gainesville. Because those fan bases would love to have him. You got to admit that now, D-True. You got to admit that. Wouldn't Bama love to have Ryan Day on the sideline? Ask any Bama fan.
Hey,
But I'm putting like this. Ohio State, yeah, they look good, but you know when they did that official review on that cat,
they look damn good. Ohio State look damn good. Y'all gotta put some respect on Ohio State, man. For real.
But I'm looking at it right here. With the official review, got undisputed evidence to overturn that call, right? Yeah, their offense is they got to improve a little bit on their offense, get it going a little bit more, right? And Miami,
yeah,
Carson Beck, will he show up every game? We know how Carson Beck is. Will he show up every game? That's a question mark I got for that. I'm not really sold on Carson Beck what he did the first game yet. You see what I'm saying? Because what he did at Georgia, and he had some athletes at Georgia. You see what I'm saying?
Not like what he got now. Not like what he got now, Detroit.
Yeah. But I still got to see what he do for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? So
could you imagine if Carson Beck got what Georgia? I'm drawing a blank because I was thinking about something else. He got what we got now. If he would have stuck around, it would have been lovely.
If Carson Beck would have stuck around in Georgia, he would be a Heisman finalist this year. But what I think he has, the reason why I think Miami is a better fit for him, for his agenda, what he's trying to do, is because, in my opinion, Sniper, I could be wrong. They could prove me wrong next Saturday. But right now, in my opinion, I think Miami got the better O-line. They got the better. They could not get to Carson Beck. They tried. They were blitzing all night, and they could not get to him. Not one time.
I agree. And we haven't been battle tested yet to see what that line is about. So, and we won't be until next week.
Until next week.
So.
Yeah. And another thing I learned about week 1, these fans crying about some teams not passing the ball when the run game is working. What y'all think about that? Fans crying because some teams not passing the ball more when the run game is working.
But because they got that NFL mindset right now when it is the NFL is a passing league, and they think that the college level should do the same. But college is more successful when you run the ball more than you pass the ball because it opens up a lot. But you also have these dual threat, triple threat quarterbacks that's out there that can run the ball too. So, and they put that in the game plan. So it's the scheme of things. Hey fans, listen. Everything's not. If you want to see high power, if you want to see, air raid, go out to the West Coast. That's where it's all about. Down over here on the East Coast, down here in the South, we run the ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. Just like defense, some defense gonna be headed, some defense gonna be headed offense. The run game gonna be gonna be ahead of the passing game. People don't understand that because it's a whole lot easier to run block than it is pass block.
And also, it's the first week of the season. The first week. Yeah, you seen some teams that just went out there and started scoring left and right because they didn't play a team or a team, and you hit it right on the button. The defense is ahead of the offense when it comes to college football and comes to football period, because it's not the only thing they got to do. See the ball, hit the ball. See the runner, hit the runner. See the quarterback, hit the quarterback. That's all they just like on go. A offense is more finesse. It's supposed to be more finesse.
Sometimes we as fans, we have a bad habit early in the season. From week one to week 3, we have a bad habit of extrapolating the situation. Okay, when you have to understand, okay, if you're starting off your season with inferior opponents, you don't show your hand. All right, if you can beat them on the ground, you beat them on the ground. If you're getting the job on the ground, you're getting the job. Why put unnecessary wear and tear on your quarterback's arm? Why do that? Take, for instance, I don't mean to keep using Ohio State as an example. Ohio State, LSU, they did their job on the ground. LSU brought it to Clemson on the ground, and it was working. They didn't need a 400, 500-yard pass tonight from Nassmeyer. Ohio State, they didn't need Julian Sand to put up 200 and 300 yards or 400 yards on Texas secondary, because they was getting the job done on the ground, and it was working. So I say that it sounds like, you're talking about Auburn fans and Georgia fans. Calm down, pipe down. I understand Auburn fans, you want to find out what Jackson Arnold's arm, what he can do in the passing game. And Georgia fans, I hear some Georgia fans, they want to see what Gunner can do. They want to see Gunner turning the damn Aaron Rodgers today and slinging it down. You're not gonna see that. We've never, Georgia fans, listen to me real good. We won a national title, and I wasn't around in 42. Okay, so I don't know what the hell happened. Charlotte Trippy and all of them. I only seen film on that. All right, I wasn't around back during the World War II years, but I was a kid.
You was sitting on the sidelines.
Man, I was on the look, bro. I was somewhere else. I'm not gonna say. I wasn't even thought of. But in 1980, I was a kid. Okay, I was a kid, and I was a fan, and I understood football at the age of 7 when my Dogs won it in 1980. 2021, which was not that long ago, in 2022. Okay, so listen, those 3 years, the last 3 national champions, we did not have an elite passer. We did not have an elite quarterback. We had a game manager. Buck Bellew was a game manager. Stetson Bennett was a game manager. He wasn't no Trevor Lawrence. He wasn't no Andrew Luck. He was a game manager. Look at the last 5 national champions. Look at the last 5. The last time you seen the elite quarterback win a national championship was in 2019 when Joe Burrows did it. After that, Mac Jones, game manager. Stetson Bennett, game manager. Stetson Bennett again, game manager. J.J. McCarthy, game manager. Will Howard, game manager. That's 5. Game managers.
Yeah. Because you don't have that too many quarterback that's a game changer. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. This is college football. This is not the NFL. You don't need a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen under center. All you need is a quarterback that can run the offense, manage the game, and not make any mistakes. That's the blueprint. You need a running game. You need an O-line. You need an O-line in that running game because your running back is very important, because with the new rule, the running clock rule, your running back is going to close out the game. And I love that. I love that new running clock rule. If we'd have had that running clock rule, let's say 10 years ago, a couple of teams that won the national title, Florida State, wouldn't have never won it. It wouldn't have been enough time to come back and win some of those national championship games. So I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, and the running game, I'm about to say, the running game, you control the tempo. I'm like, why change the strategy? And there's some coaches that abandoned the running game after 1 or 2 series. They abandoned the running game. Nah, yeah, defense need to calm down. Defense needs to come down. They up in the upper. They just need to calm down. Let the man do what they're going to. Let the coach do what they're going to do.
Yeah, like I said, you know, we as college football fans, I'm guilty of it sometimes. You know, I was guilty of it in 2023 because I wanted to see what Carson Beck could do down the field in those first couple of games. But you know, they had him handing the ball off and doing a lot of, you know, bubble screens and check downs and stuff. So these coaches, they getting paid big bucks for a reason. All right, we as fans, we think we know how things should go, but these are experts. Kirby, this man's been coaching for years, man. This man is an expert at what he does, man. So I'm not questioning. I'm not questioning these experts. I'm a fan. I support the team, but I'm gonna trust their judgment until I see otherwise.
Yeah. And these some of these old fans, cause he did it at he was at Ole Miss and Liberty, cause they did threw the ball down the field. Guess what? Coaches evolve. They learn, like, okay, this ain't gonna work right here. Let me do this right here. And guess what? He evolved. Like, okay, my running game working. I'm gonna keep running the ball. Show me you can stop me from running the ball. Guess what? The other coach is gonna have to do. If a team cannot stop you running, make them prove they can stop you running. Especially if that team comes into the game that you playing, got that so hell of that hell of a defense, that run stopper defense, and they ain't stopped you yet. Oh, prove they can stop the run. Like the experts say, oh, this team good to stop the run, but they ain't stopped you running the ball yet. Continue running the ball on them. That's what I say. You know how you know how sometimes they got these kind of say, oh, they good at stopping running, good at stopping the pass, but they can't stop it. I'm just saying. Some of the experts is wrong. Y'all need to stop listening to doggone experts. Because they are not experts. They just say what first thing that come out their doggone mouth. They're not really looking at the game. We on here, we look at all sides of the game. So they just don't want to give the offensive line their praise. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Big shout out to 225 girl. 225 girl says if Gunner throws for 180 next week against Tennessee, I personally wouldn't care as long as the dogs come out with me too. I don't give a damn about stats and style points and all that crap. This is 2025. This ain't 1985. When you wanted to see your team go out there and put 60 up on somebody or 70 points up on all, as long as we win. That's all I care about, man. Long as we win the game next week. Now, you know.
I think that I agree with you. There's certain teams that I want to drop 100 on.
Yeah.
There's certain teams I want to drop 100 on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but look, as long as we got that, I don't care if we lose 2-0 and we win 2-0, And only reason we got it because we got a safety and couldn't do nothing else. As long as that W's right there, that's cool with me. Gunner could have thrown for 5 yards. I don't care.
I'm gonna say this right here.
What you gonna say?
What
All
do you
right,
fans think
real
we
quick, we gotta get to the Q&As. Go ahead.
Yeah. What do you fans think we in the BCS area? When you got a showboat and run the score up?
That's another thing. You don't have to look, man. Listen, everybody, calm down, man. Relax. Usa. We ain't trying to impress no computers anymore like we had to back in 2005. You have a 12-team playoff. That committee cares about two things: your strength of record and your wins and losses. They don't really give a damn about style points and all that crap. That stuff went out before the college football playoff expansion. You had to, score some style points back then, but now, it's all about strength of record and your wins and losses. That's what this is about. So, okay, all right. Q&A.
You want me to be?
Go ahead, man.
You want me to be her? You knew for the day?
No, I can do it. I can do
All right.
it.
Can I go last on this one, please?
Yeah. So we'll start off with D2. Hey, man. All the hype all summer. Arch Manning's gonna do this. Arch Manning's gonna do that. Arch Manning's gonna do this. And then last Saturday happened. In your opinion, D2, in your honest opinion, is Arch Manning overrated? Yes or no?
Before you even put this question, before you even play the game, and I told you last year, I said this last year, he was over goddamn rated because of the goddamn last name. It's the last name that got him overrated. You think we'd be talking about Arch Manning if his last name wasn't Manning?
Nope.
My point exactly. So we already knew he was overrated. So I was thinking about Texas played Ohio State. Jackson Arnold played Baylor. Georgia played Marshall. Miami played, I forgot who Miami played, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. On the same, although Auburn played Friday, on that same Saturday, you didn't hear nothing about them quarterback, did you?
Well, they was giving Carson Beck his praises. They was giving Julian Sand his praises, and they were definitely giving Nesmeyer. Nesmeyer right now is the front runner, and the kid down in South Carolina.
Yeah,
yeah.
But with Arch, make it to what, semifinals and lost, and
that was you. That was you.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah.
That wasn't
but they wanted. I'm going to tell you this: right? Texas fans probably wanted Arch Manning to start that ball game. You see what I'm saying? They wanted yours out of there. They ran yours off too quick. You see what I'm saying? But hey, who to say? Arch, y'all got a chance to redeem yourself today against a beautiful team. Let's see how you do.
I don't think Sarkisian wanted him to leave. I think that was politics, backroom politics being played. And I told everybody for the last 2 years, there's a reason why Sarkisian never named him the starter. There was a reason why he could not beat out Ewers for the starting position. Because if you are elite and what they were trying to paint him as, he would have did what Trevor Lawrence did. See, Trevor Lawrence was, as a true freshman, beat out a quarterback that had just took Clemson to the damn playoffs. Trevor Lawrence came in his freshman year as a true freshman and beat out Kelly Bryant for the job. Why Arch Manning couldn't do that with Quinn Ewers? Sniper.
Let me tell you something. And I want to apologize to this young man because I was pretty harsh on him last week. I've been pretty harsh on him for a couple of years, just like everybody. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet. The media jacked him up. Have you ever heard Arch Manning come out and say that that he was the greatest of all time? Have you ever heard Arch Manning speak about his game?
Yes, he talked some crap the week before the Ohio State game.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
He
that.
he was on the podium talking some crap. Yeah, he talked some crap. Talking about that they got a target on Ohio State and everybody else on their schedule. He did talk some smack.
Yeah, hey, he talk a little smack out, how players do. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the media, like everybody's been saying, and D-Truth just said it, you just said it, the last name. Did y'all know that Arch Manning lost his last game in the playoffs when he was at Noonan High School?
Yep.
In Louisiana,
Mike Teasy went to that game. Remember, I told you Mike Teasy went to that game because one of his relatives was playing against Arch, and he told me that Arch was overrated.
Yeah,
he wasn't all
Did some research on him, bro, and Noonan High School don't have they don't play against big name schools like they do when you come down here to Georgia and you playing East Side. You playing doggone Carrollton High School. You playing Buford High School. You might a gauntlet is what these Georgia's boys play, and some of the schools in Texas. But the media hyped this dude up so bad that he has his ceiling is he's stuck in a box, bro. He's stuck in a box. So being overrated on what the media put him out to be is what made him overrated. I think that Arch Manning knows his ability, and he knows where his cap is. But because he is a Manning, just like D-Truth just said, and everybody else said, they think he's going to be able to throw the football. He's going to be yelling, Omaha, Omaha, Omaha. No, bro.
He ain't nowhere near
college. I think college is going to be, and the same thing with Eli. Everybody thought Eli was, but Eli was the truth in college. He did some things in college.
Yeah.
He went to the NFL. His Arch father.
Eli came in his freshman year at Ole Miss balling
out.
He came in balling his freshman year. Let me read this comment. 225 girl put. She said, "Do you think Sark has to be careful how he approaches Arch if he makes mistakes because of the possible blowback by his family behind the scenes?"
No.
And I agree with you, 225 girl. And I also will say this is one of the reasons why I don't think Sark would be in Austin that long. I don't see a scenario where what Kirby's doing in Georgia 10 plus years, I don't see Sark doing that in Texas. Too many political games. They play too many politic games down there in Austin. Salute to you, Kenyon 30. Good morning to you, brother. Happy Saturday to you.
Mr. Kenyon, happy Saturday to you. I agree with you too also, but I think that you got to coach a kid just like you coach everybody else. If Archie Manning comes in and say, "Hey, why you talk to my grandbaby like that?" Man, I'll punch Archie in the doggone eye and tell him to get off my field. You don't run. You might be a Manning, but you don't run stuff down here in this part of Texas. You from Louisiana. Go sit down somewhere.
Well, it's safe to say that we're all in agreement with that question. I'm going to say this. I think he's overrated right now. He has the arm strength. He can hurt you with his legs. His accuracy is an issue. Now, with that being said, fellas, ask me who he reminds me of. I'm going to tell you who he looked like in that game last Saturday. He reminded me of Joe Burrows in that 2018 Bama game, where he was missing receivers and like underthrowing receivers and really didn't couldn't read he was having issues reading the defense, but came back in 2019 and balled out.
And
so don't sleep on this kid. Don't give up on this kid. Texas fans, I think it's in him, but it ain't in him this year. It was too much expectations put on him. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's elite, but I think he can be an asset and potentially could lead Texas to a national title. They got a defense. That defense is the truth. That's the positive. If I'm a Texas fan, your defense did something that no other team besides Michigan did. You shut Jeremiah Smith down. You shut Jeremiah Smith down. That's huge.
On the negative side of who you compare it to, I looked at him as almost a shorter version of Eason, quarterback out of Georgia. Happy feet.
I don't know about that.
Happy feet. Remember, Eason could throw the long ball, but he wasn't accurate. He couldn't throw the medium ball. But look at Eason,
Eason had terrible feet, bro. Eason couldn't give you nothing on the ground. That's why I could not make that comparison.
But watch how Archie was in the pocket. He didn't know if he wanted to run or stay and pass. And it looked like he had a little bit of he had a little bit of a happy feet to me.
That is why I think the one mistake. Now a lot of people coming down hard on Sarkisian. I think the one mistake that he made was he did not bring in a dual threat specialist on his staff. You need someone, a dual threat specialist. You could even brought in Vince Young. That's one time I probably would have reached out to Vince Young or even Colt McCoy and said, hey, look, I want you to come in and work with this kid.
Good call.
Come in and work with this kid because, look, you try to take him and turn him into Peyton and Eli. That ain't going to work. That's not his game. He has more Cooper in him and his grandpa in him than he does Peyton and Eli. You got to look, man, you got to let him run that ball. You got to let Arch be Arch because he's not Peyton and he's not Eli.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this right here, and we'll probably go to this question. It's like this right here. There are some quarterback that are passing quarterback. There's some quarterback that are dual threat quarterback. And there's some quarterback that transferred to another school because that offense at the other school fits their ability, and the coach will let them be who they are. But they tell them, let them do this right here, let them do that right there. Them people got to stay out of coach's business. Bottom line, people got to stay out of coach's business. Let Start do what he's going to do with Arch. Let him do it. Because if you don't, it's going to be, them 3 years going to be some long 3 years for Texas then.
Okay, y'all, let's get on to the next question here. And I don't want, this is a very interesting question. This was pretty much the top topic of the week. This topic right here. The Bama dynasty, as we all know, Bama, that was the upset of the weekend. What Florida State did to Bama, remember everyone, Florida State was a 2-10 team last year, okay? This is not your older brother's Florida State team. That was not Jameis Winston's Florida State team. That was the Florida State team that went 2-10 last year. And they dominated Bama. They just dominated them for 4 quarters. Fellas, whoever want to take this first, go ahead, be my guest. The Bama dynasty is officially over, yes or no?
Let me clear my throat. Bama, I'm sorry. You was done. You got a West Coast coach to come out and try to play a down south, to coach a down south team that is known to be dominant, that is known to be physical. When I went back and watched that game against Florida State, you seen players not running after the ball. We know Bama to be a team that five or six players is surrounding the ball runner. You got 5 or 6 players, even if you only got 11 on the field, you're going to have 21 sacking the quarterback. That's how you couldn't get, they smothered you. They did. Nowadays, starting from last year to this year, Bama is not the same as they were a couple of years ago. Even when they lost the national championship, they smothered Georgia. Years after that, every team they played, I mean, it was the opposing team could not score. They could not get off the ball. Trust me, I know. I'm a Georgia fan. I know what they do to us. But to say that they still got their dynasty, that's a wrap. You know, they was looking at it this year and looking at it on Sunday, Monday, that it'll take $700 million to buy out DeBoer. That's crazy. That's crazy. They're ready to get rid of this man after his second season. Nick Saban ain't got nothing good to say about him. So to answer your question with that little bit of commentary is yes, the dynasty officially over. There's nothing you can do, and short of coming back and winning the national championship this year, which I don't see it happening at all. I don't see it happening with who you got and what the coaches you got and stuff like that. But I think this year would be old boy's last year as a coach at the University of Alabama, and that dynasty is done with. D-True?
Well, I'm gonna say this right here. Their dynasty is over. And I think when we called it last year that Nick said this last year with Nick Saban last year, he's seen it. He's seen it writing on the wall. He's seen it writing on the wall. And not last year, the year before. He's seen it writing on the wall, right? And who had been a thorn in Alabama's side when he coached the SEC? Gus. I guarantee them Bama fans, them coaches, and them alumni, and them boosters, when they seen Gus go to Florida State, they would think, "Oh God, no." Because just about every year Gus coached at Auburn, either as an offensive coordinator or a head coach, he beat Bama with Nick Saban. What you thought he was going to do at Florida State as offensive coordinator for Florida State? So, Bama fans, lick your wounds, get ready, because it's going to be a long year for you. And after 2 seasons, I don't think they should get rid of Kelly, the boy. Because who else they going to go get? What other coach going to be out there? It's going to be the same repetitious thing over and over again. Bama Dynasty is over. It's over.
That dynasty, the handwriting was on the wall when the NIL was brought to the table in 2021. And I told both of you this. And we had Jaco was on the panel with us that day back in 2021 when we was over there doing our thing on Facebook. I said, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, is going to be the end of that Bama dynasty. You're witnessing the beginning of the end of that Bama dynasty. So they go on that same year to win the SEC championship game, but lost to Kirby in Georgia. Nobody saw that coming in the national championship game. Then in 2022, they went down to College Station and lost to an unranked Texas A&M team. You could see the handwriting on the wall even when Nick Saban was there. You see, Bama fans want to use DeBoer as a scapegoat. It's not DeBoer. The problem is the culture. The culture, the NIL. And it's not just happening in Alabama. It's happening in other schools. It happened in USC. It almost happened to Oklahoma. But Brent Venables is kind of shutting that down a little bit. It almost happened at Ohio State. And it's kind of sort of happening in Michigan right now. The culture, this right here, that can change and come in and poison any program. Money. It ain't got nothing to do with the board. But unfortunately, I agree with you. No, I somewhat agree with you, D-Truth. They don't need to get rid of him. They just jumping the gun. But I don't see him lasting 2 years. And here's why. They're going to start taking L's to Auburn. And like you said at the top of the program, when you start taking L's to your rival and you're not winning national championships and you're not winning SEC and you start taking L's to your rivals, they're going to get you up out of there. The great Bear Bryant, when he lost that Iron Bowl, because he had a 9-game winning streak. When he lost that Iron Bowl in 1982 to Auburn, that's when all the backroom politicking, that's when all the boosters and they was like, hey, we got to get him up out of here. He don't have it anymore. So I think that's what's going to get him up out of there. When Bama starts losing to Auburn. And that's coming in November.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, and I agree with you with NIL deal. You know, I'm one of the few that says that I don't agree with the NIL. I believe you give them boys a little bit more of a stipend in which you've been doing every month. But you know, I don't agree with this $1 million to a player. And that's probably just the old school of me. But how can coaches need to coach where they feel comfortable at.
Mm-hmm.
The boys have been out there in the West Coast for how long? That's where he started. And it's a different, that's like taking, which it probably work if you take a coach from the SEC to ACC, where we are known for power running. We're known for dinks and donks with the plays. Every once in a while, you might catch one down the field, whatever have you. But the West Coast is known for air raid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, trying to bring that to the East Coast, it's probably not going to work in your favor. So, should he change his coaching style to be more successful in the SEC? And is his coaches that bring in the West Coast offense, which is basically what it is, the West Coast offense, to the SEC and seeing if it's going to, in a couple of years, if it's going to work out for him?
That's not the problem, Sniper. That's not the problem, because you're forgetting one thing. The both of you are forgetting one thing. What was the purpose of Nick Saban bringing Lane Kiffin to Tuscaloosa back in 2014? What was the purpose? He brought Lane Kiffin in for that offense. Lane Kiffin came from USC. Remember that. He came from USC to Bama, and he brought that West Coast offense. And Lane Kiffin turned that Bama offense into an air raid offense. They've been running the West Coast. The problem is not the coach. It's the culture. The culture, not the players, it's the culture, Sniper. The culture. That money, all of that money, because they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years and years and years. It's caught up with them, Sniper. Now that everybody is allowed to do it, everybody is allowed to pay, it's an arms race, and they don't have it. We're talking about Alabama. I don't give a damn how big their brand is, bro. They don't have it. They don't have that oil money like they got down in Texas. They don't have that Coca-Cola money like we got over here in Georgia. They don't have that Ohio State money. They don't have it. They don't have that Michigan money. They don't have it. They can't compete in a financial arms race, bro. That's the problem, and it's a culture problem, man. You're getting Bama is getting these players. They're reaching out, recruiting these prima donnas, and when you recruit prima donnas, you're gonna get prima donna energy. And that's why you got them tit-talking, walking around with teddy bears, sleeping with teddy bears. I mean, man, it's the culture. Yeah. It's the culture.
Yeah. But this is probably a conversation that we can have during the week, because I agree with you on a majority of the stuff, but I do think it's coaching also, because I do think when you rewatch that game. And I understand what you're saying. Off the field, they're doing stupid stuff off the field, right? But on the field, right? On the field, I think that it's that coaching, because you have players that I know that can run down half of could run down that quarterback from Florida State, but them brothers was jogging. They didn't care. You saw the I didn't care look on their face, and that comes from coaching. That I understand it's also about you pay the pre-adamas and the pay, but if you lost control of that locker room, offense, defense, special teams, if you lost that, you're not going to win. So that's the only reason why I like I said, I agree with you, and maybe we should have this conversation, have us a little debate going back and forth during the week. But I think that it's the when it comes to coaching, these players don't want to play for this coach.
I agree with you to a point. Okay. Kalen DeBoer, one thing I do notice, and I noticed in the game when they played us last year, he does not make halftime adjustments at all. I noticed that in the Georgia game. I noticed that in the Vandy game. I noticed that in the Oklahoma game. No halftime adjustments were made. Even in the bowl game against Michigan, no halftime adjustments were made. The Iron Bowl, no halftime adjustments were made, and Auburn almost got them in the second half. If it wasn't for a few dumb penalties that Auburn was committing, Auburn would have came back and won that game, the Iron Bowl. So that's the one thing, his Achilles heel. I noticed that even when he was in Washington, he's not really good at making halftime adjustments. And that's something. He's young. You got to remember, Kalen DeBoer is a young man now. He got some more years ahead of him. The unfortunate thing about it is he's at a school that wants to win now. They're impatient. The fan base is impatient. They're in desperation mode. But the biggest, and I agree with you, part of it is the coaching. But the biggest issue is the culture. Let's look at Nick Saban's reason for retiring. And in the interview he did last week, Terry, his wife, convinced him to retire. She made the call. She said, Nick, it don't feel the same. It used to be about family. It used to be about the love of the program, the love of the game. Now it's for the love of the money. You got players coming to your office. Coach Saban, I was just looking at my NIL contract, and they told me, well, before I committed that I was gonna get $1 million, but I'm only getting $500,000. That's what I mean by it's a culture issue, man. It's about this. They thinking about this. Why he didn't run? Why that guy didn't hustle and make that tackle that you're referring to? Because he was thinking about this money.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. I don't care who. I said this 2 years ago. Before Nick Saban retired, I said, whoever come behind Nick Saban, they're going to have a hard time because of, like you said, the culture of Alabama. No matter what coach they hire, they will have a hard time. And we see it now, don't we? They're having a hard time because, like I said,
I can't even use that as an excuse, D-True, because Gene Chisnick came behind, in my opinion, the most successful Auburn coach in the 21st century. Now he has a national title, Tommy Tuberville. He came behind Tommy Tuberville, the man, the same Auburn head coach that took Auburn to 13-0. He came behind that man. The man had a 6-game winning streak against Bama. He came behind that and won a freaking national title. So I can't even use that as an excuse, because I've seen coaches follow a legend and still win titles.
Yeah, but different era though, bro. Different era. And
Ryan Day did it. Ryan Day came behind Urban Meyer and he kept the ship floating, although he had his hiccups against Michigan, but he won a national title.
It's like this right here. But the NIL contract, since that is the next question, right? The NIL, the money, whatever, I'm like this right here. Don't some of the players think, okay, if I hustle and do this and do that and make plays, you think I can renegotiate my NIL deals? You see what I'm saying? No. They don't think about that. You see what I'm saying? If you hustle,
no, because you don't have to. It's not the NIL. You're referring to an NFL contract. You're referring that's in a clause in the NFL contract. But in a college, man, you don't even have to play and you still get paid.
Yeah.
Arch only played 2 games last year, and he made more money than Quinn Ewers.
See, I'm like this right here. And they fail to realize they not hustling. and hey, look, you want to get to the NFL, okay. But the NFL executives and coaches, they look at the game field, oh, you're not hustling? Why should I draft you? You see what I'm saying? They don't look at it that way. They don't look at it that way. Look, if you're not hustling, look, man, all 3 of us, we on the same, we NFL executive, right? We watch that game. Bama players not hustling to the ball. Not being they didn't make the tackle, they ain't even hustling to the ball. Why would we want to draft that player, bro? Why would we draft him?
Well, let me, okay, but you got to see, this is what a lot of college football fans, they don't want to address the elephant in the room. And I'm glad we're talking about Bama, because I'm really definitely going to address the elephant in the room with the NIL. And this is, Sniper mentioned this back in 2021, and he said, this is what it may come to, what I'm about to mention right now. What I'm about to say out loud, he said 6 years ago. All of these players don't give a damn about the NFL, because they're making more money than they ever made in their life. The money is making them lose focus. It's drawing more women to them. So therefore, more women, more distractions. Some of these guys have become complacent because they're getting a couple of $1 million put in their hands. They ain't thinking about no NFL. They're having fun right now. They driving in Lamborghinis right now. They wearing jewelry, Rolexes, and driving in drop top fast cars right now. They're living heaven on earth right now. They can pull in a female on campus right now. Baddies. They're living like NFL players right now. So what happens? Belly get a little full, get soft, and the NFL just gets further and further put on the back burner, because they're thinking about the here and now. They think about all that money that they're making right now. Some players, they're focused. They got their eyes on the prize. But then you got some players, man, that money done made them soft. Perfect example, Miko. God-given talent. But Tennessee gave him all that money, and look what happened.
I'm not
Salute to you, common sense.
Because I look at it, if Nick Saban was still coaching, I don't think them players be playing like they really didn't want to play. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I see about Kelly the boys is when players make a mistake and not hustle, whatever, he don't get on them either. He don't get on them. But when Nick Saban on the sideline, you notice when Nick Saban, when a player make a mistake, what did he do? What did he do? He didn't care
He
how
get
much
on
money
him.
he make. He get on him. Okay, the boy don't.
Where you got to remember, think back to the last 2 years. just go back and watch some Bama film in 2022 and 2023 and watch Nick Saban on the sidelines. When they lost that game to Texas A&M, he didn't raise hell like he did when they lost to Johnny Manziel them that year. When he was all on the sideline, throwing his hat and throwing his headsets. You didn't see none of that the last 2 years. How you gonna tell a kid that's making damn near half your salary what to do and how to do it? Do you think the kids in 2022 is going to listen to him the same way as the ones Derrick Henry and Reuben Foster and all of them listen to him, and they weren't getting a dime that we know of, allegedly?
Yeah. And think about this. Think about this though. Think about it. It's not only the money part of it. Ain't no telling who else around them players in their ear. You see what I'm saying? In their ears, say, "Oh, you got to worry about the coaches. You got to do what the coaches tell you to do. You got this money. You know how that go. People in their ear. Yeah, I think the majority of the time is the people in their ear. Oh, you got to worry about the NFL. But guess what? What they don't realize, the people in the ear, they just there for right now. What they gonna be when that money gone?
And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker right here. It used to be a time like on that movie Glory Road. If the player was misbehaving and he wasn't listening to the coach, you could pick up the phone and call the mama and the daddy. You can't even do that now. You know why? Because these kids are running the households. How is a mother and father going to tell their child that's making $2 million and they making $30,000 working in a factory every year? What the hell they going to tell their kid? How they gonna go up to the school and do what that lady did, that mother did in Glory Road? How a mother in today's world, salute to you, Shawanda Williams, how a mother in today's college football world gonna go to a school and get on her son that's making 5 times more than what she's making in a factory?
It's like this right here. We're not saying all the parents doing that, right? We're not saying all of them doing that, not doing it, right? There's some will go there. They don't care how much the child making. If you're not, it's like you making this right here. Look here, you wanted to make it to the NFL. Get this money. Do what you got to do to get there. You see what I'm saying? And there's some parents will go up there and get on that child. We're not saying all of them not gonna go do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, some of these kids, we already know, about 1% of these kids in the 130-something colleges going to make it to the NFL.
Yeah, well, let's move on to let's move on to the next discussion. We're gonna pick up on that when we do a 2 live show this week. We're gonna do a 2 live show during the week, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna
get down there.
Yeah, we can really break down this. But next question. The Ohio State is the best team in the nation right now. I'm going to take this one first. Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, today, September the 6th, 2025, now it could change later on tonight. It could change next week. But for today, in my opinion, from my eye test, they're the best team in the nation.
From my opinion, I wouldn't say, and right now I can't tell you who is the best team. I don't want to put nobody on no pedestal, but I'm not going to even put Georgia on there. But I did pick them to win last week. They did. The body of work did look good. They played a really good offense. Did really well against against a stout defensive team. But I can't say they're the best team right now because I don't know. They only put up 14 points. If we looking at a point value, they only put up 14 points. Could they done more? And I know the first week you're not going to show your whole playbook. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So they did what they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say yes, but for argument's sake, I just can't say yes just yet. I'm not, me, Armando. I'll wait till week 3, week 4 to tell you who's the best, and then I'm going to argue about Ohio State being the best all your season long, knowing doggone well that if they are or they not.
No, that's why I said today, September the 6th, from my eye test, they are the most battle-tested team, and we all know that Texas kid dropped the ball. He trapped it. So the real score is 14-0. I understand you saying they didn't score no style points or whatever. Remember, like we discussed earlier, in those type of games, it ain't about style points. It's about wins or losses. They won very convincingly. And the real score, they goose-egged Texas in that game. They goose-egged them. The real score should have been 14-0.
So when you ask this question, and I'm gonna keep it short. When you ask this question, do you look at it and say, what if they played somebody else? Would it have been the same results or a different results? What if they played Miami? Would it have been the same results or a different results? What if they played? What if they played Clemson? What if they played they played Penn State later on in the year? But do you understand what I'm saying? I look at it as that one.
I can answer that question right now. Okay, I watch Miami, and I watch Miami's defense. They have a nice pass rush, but they have some issues in the secondary. Penn State kind of shaky in the secondary. Okay, and they could come back to hunt them later on down the line in October and November.
Fact.
Who else you asked about?
No, I'm just saying, I was just looking at anybody.
I think they could beat anybody else, in my opinion, because everybody else that I saw has weaknesses. Miami has weaknesses in their secondary. Penn State has weaknesses in their secondary. To me, even though Arch did not have a good game, I still stand on what I said at the beginning of the season. Texas has one of the best defenses in the nation. They are stacked, loaded on defense. They are loaded on defense. They got some first rounders on that defense.
Oh, yes.
They shut down Jeremiah Smith. That ain't easy to do. That ain't easy to do.
They shut him down by double covering him. And they made sure one was over the top and one was over them at the bottom. They did a very good job. They did a very good job of shutting down Big Boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna say yes and I'm gonna say no. No reason I say yes because they won the national championship. They all deserve it. Till the playoffs, till you beat them, yes, they are the best team in the nation. No reason I said no because the first game. And when they played Texas, although I did choose Texas to win that game, they did not play an experienced quarterback in that game. Arch Manning, he's like a deer in the headlight, really. But I want to see what they do for the rest of the season. For right now, they're the best team in the nation because they're the national champ. Until you beat the national champ, guess what? They are the best team.
All right,
for right now.
Let's move on to the next question. Yeah, that's why I said right now. That's why I put it in capital letters right now. All right. Okay, D-Truth, you're going to get this one first. Jackson Arnold could be a dark horse for the Heisman in 2025. I will say this, okay? I'm going to say this before you answer this. Jackson Arnold, in my opinion, was the only quarterback that actually took over the damn game. That actually put his team on his shoulders and said, hey, look, ride my shoulders to a victory. That was Jackson Arnold last Friday. So I'm going to let you take this one first, D-Truth. Jackson Arnold could be a dark horse for the Heisman in 2025. Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes. Just like Trey Mason did in, what was that, 2013, came out of nowhere, was sitting in New York. Jackson Arnold going to be sitting in New York because of the elite wide receivers he got and the running game. And all these fans come out, oh, we didn't see him throw the ball. He had 100-some yard passing. Only 6 passes wasn't caught. 11 out of 17. So, and like Armando said, he did what it. Look, you want a quarterback to do whatever it takes to win the ball game, and he did that the first game. I guess that wasn't no Rudy Poo team, and guess what? And that wasn't at Jordan Hare. That was on the road. How many quarterbacks can say they went on the road did what he did in the first game for the year? Not too many. Not too many quarterbacks. And like I said before, with that system she's got, that fits Jackson on. That system at Oklahoma, it didn't fit him. If you got a system that fits your quarterback, work it. That's the problem at Texas right now with Arch Manning. Arch, what's a favorite Heisman favorite for this year?
Front runner.
That's front runner. Yeah,
front runner.
Look, you forgot about Nassmeyer. They forgot about Nassmeyer. They put him on the back burner to Arch Manning. But Jackson only really going to be a dark horse if he continue to play like he's playing. So I'm not worried about the passing. Long he control the offense and score and win and do what he got to do, hey, I'm fine with it. Let him be the dark horse. Just like they got Auburn ranked in the top 25 poll. Oh, I'm fine with it. Because it reminds me of 2013. Not ranked, came out of nowhere. So keep us on rank. And keep Jackson on, not on the Heisman board. Thank you.
If Baylor upsets SMU tonight, Auburn would definitely be ranked tomorrow. It ain't no doubt about it. Auburn will be ranked tomorrow. That's gonna strengthen their schedule. Remember, they're looking at strength of schedule as well. Sniper.
Only thing I heard was womp, 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 womp. I want to see this boy play the SEC games. That's what I'm waiting for him to do. See how he recovers from last year to this year. That system, if it works for him, it works for him. I think he got something good going. And what I will say is, give me one more week. But I do think he's like where they put they show only 5, 6. He's at that. He could be 5 or 6 or 6 or 7 on the Heisman board. But I'm not giving too much credit yet because it's only the first game of the season.
Fair enough. I'm gonna say from my eye test, and I'm just speaking on this week. From my eye test, I think he could. It's a possibility he could sneak in. But I also agree with Sniper and a few of the Auburn fans out there want to see what he does on the 20th. The 20th, if he goes out there and do the same thing to that Oklahoma defense that he did to that Baylor defense, look out. Look out. Everybody's going to be talking about him. Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, hell, Mel Kiper and Todd Michelle going to start talking about him. He's going to move up in that draft board. Definitely.
Yeah, and the fans out there Oklahoma talking their smack. You know all the Auburn players got that day circle for all that bulletin board material no fans giving them. So Oklahoma, watch out. Auburn coming.
I'm going to be honest with you. His style of play reminds me a lot of Josh Allen. I'm just saying. He reminds me of a young Josh Allen. Remember when Josh Allen was at Wyoming, he did it more with his legs than he did with his arm. Now, going into that senior year at Wyoming, he started airing it out. He was beating you with his legs and his arm. So kind of reminds his style of play is more like Josh Allen to me,
Yeah, I just can't wait tonight. Let's see what Oklahoma really made of against Michigan. We want to see what Michigan and Oklahoma made of tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So LSU had a big win. They went into Death Valley Junior in Clemson, South Carolina, and beat Clemson I think the score was 17-10. Could have easily been 24-10 if it wasn't for a bad call by the refs. So right now, and we're just speaking for today now. Is LSU the best team in the SEC right now, today? The shout out to you, New. I would have loved to heard her answer on this one. But is LSU the best team in the SEC right now?
Yeah, LSU is the best team in the country. They're gonna beat everybody. Yeah.
Oh boy, she gonna get here, boy. She gonna get here. She gonna get you back. She gonna get you.
As of today, it is a from what I've seen, it's a close first or second, because again, Georgia hasn't played anybody, so I can't tell what they are just yet. Good body of work, but between them and South Carolina, I'm not going to leave out South Carolina just yet. So it's a close second. As of today, I think it's a tie. It could be a tie with South Carolina and LSU, but hey, they put some work on Clemson. Now they did put some work on Clemson, but I seen a little bit of struggle, but not too much to be concerned of. That can't be fixed. So hey, LSU could make a good run this year.
I'm gonna say yes and no. No reason I said that. Like I said, the first game of the year, and that Clemson LSU game was one of the best games of that day, right? It was one of the best games of that day. You didn't know who was going to win that ball game. So they played the ball game. They showed the heart. I want to say yes, they are, but no, they aren't because of the first game of the year.
I kind of agree with Sniper. It's like they may be first by a little snippet. They might be the best team in the SEC right now by that much. But sitting at number 2, maybe in a 3-way tie, and from my eye test, would be Georgia, South Carolina, and Auburn. You know, being that we don't, even though it was Marshall, we all can see, and every analyst has said the same thing, what I'm about to say. We all can see that Georgia has improved. That offense has improved. And that defense, that pass rush is no joke. They have improved on both sides of the ball. Auburn is going to be a problem. And the way they did to Baylor last Friday, you can't poo-poo on that. And South Carolina, Lenore Sellers, he is him. He's him. Lenore Sellers. And the one question mark that I had about South Carolina in last week's kickoff show, what that defensive front was going to look like, that defense came to play Sunday. That defense showed up and they dominated Virginia Tech's O-line. So 3-way tie for second. South Carolina, Georgia, Auburn, but right now by that much, LSU. All right. On to the next question. I'm gonna let you take this one first. Sniper. K Clubnet is overrated. Yes or no?
You know, watching him for the, I'm about to surprise you because this is, watching this game from last year and watching the first game, he just ran against a good defense. The first game of the season, but he still produces. Mm-hmm. Now, would I put him in a Heisman race or, best quarterback of the year? Probably not as of now. But is he overrated? I think he produces enough that he's going to be if not a low first round pick, to a high, medium second round pick. But I don't think he's overrated. I think he's one of those players that I think he tries to do too much instead of trusting his ability. But over giving him the overrated title, I don't think he's overrated. I think he produces, he does what he has to do. He just ran into a brick wall on last Saturday. Um, man, and there wasn't too much he can do. So I'm gonna say no, boss.
Did you?
I'm gonna say, it's hard to say about Club Nick. He looked like he looked like when he behind that line, indecisive. And I'm saying he kind of on that border of overrated and underrated. He on that line. Like Sniper said, he just ran into a damn good defense. But I want to see how he keep it paused against another good defense. That's what I want to see. Would he get frustrated with something that going right? That's what I want to see when he go against another good defense. Because that defense that he's going against looked like it frustrated him. But yet he still had his team in the ball game. He did some things that the quarterback is supposed to do, but when things that go right, hey, don't get frustrated. That's what I want to see. Like I said, he on that border of not overrated and not underrated. He right on that border.
I agree with Agent Smith's comment right here. He said he can't handle pressure. But where I disagree with Agent Smith is I don't think the kid is overrated. I think he just ran into a damn good defense. LSU has a good defense. We're going to find this out later on. We're going to find this out when they go to Florida, when they play Florida, how good that LSU defense is. I think it's as good as it was advertised during fall camp. If I was a GM, if I was an NFL GM, I would take him. I would take him like late first round, early second round, if he's available. I see some potential in him. I would definitely work with him and develop him and help him to learn how to handle pressure, how to handle blitzes and delayed blitzes much better. But this kid has potential. He has potential. So yeah, I wouldn't say he was overrated. He just ran into a damn good defense, that LSU defense. All right, next question.
I hope he gets to a team where they like you said, develop him and not force him to be a starter his first year. I think he needs some development, like you said, reading the defense, how to respond to a defense, and how just play your game. When he played Georgia last year, he just played his game. And we didn't have the best defense last year. We just came up with some good plays that happened to win that game. But just play your game, bro. So don't try to overdo it. I know you had a big program and everything, but and when he gets to the NFL, like I said, I hope he just play his game and don't allow the game to be too big for him.
I think a team like Kansas City or Buffalo or Kansas City, Buffalo, or San Francisco would be the perfect situation for him. Learn, sit behind Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes he ain't no spring chicken. He's getting like in his latter part of his career. Learn, sit behind him, be a backup for a couple of years, or Josh Allen, sit behind Josh Allen for a little bit, or even I give you another good situation. sit behind Dak Prescott for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, learn the system, and then take over the keys. I think he would. I don't think he need to go into a situation like to New Orleans or to Pittsburgh or somewhere to a team that needs a quarterback on day one. He don't need to go into a situation like that. He needs to go somewhere where he can sit for a couple of years and learn and get developed on an NFL level.
I think one of the up and coming, or he is a good coach, Coach McVay, because like you said, Matt Stafford is not a young. I give him another year, and then he can sit behind Stetson Bennett because they can. But Coach McVay is a very good quarterback coach, so I think that would be another good fit for it too.
Yeah, the Rams need to draft for now. when they draft, they need to draft for now, and I think Netzmeyer or Lenore Sellers would be their best bet. I think those are the two routes they need to go. One of the two, Lenore Sellers or Netzmeyer. You could go either way, whichever one is available. All right, next question. The NIL has put an end to the SEC's dominance over college football moving forward. Yes or no? I'm going to take this one first. I think I'm going to say yes. What we saw where the SEC was winning 5 and 6 national championships in a row, I don't think we'll see that again. 2, 3, maybe 2, 3 in a row, but not no 5 and 6. It's the talent. It's spread it out. And the Big Ten with the Big Ten TV deals and the Pac-12, they're working on some TV deals as well. And the Big 12, they're working on some. The money is pretty much spread it out, so the talent is going to spread out. So all the money is not just in the SEC anymore. So yeah, the dominance has been put. The dominance is not going to be there. You're not going to see that again.
The truth.
I'm gonna have to agree with him because I talked to him on the back end. You can see the Big Ten and the SEC neck and neck right now, where it used to be just the SEC and the NIL, and that has a whole lot of big things to do with it, with the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? With that combination right there, the landscape is changing. So I think the SEC dominance win 12, 13 straight back in the day. I don't think no coach is gonna be able to do that. That ain't gonna be. That's not gonna be repeated. Put it that way. By any conference, because of the NIL and transfer portal, that's not gonna be repeated no time soon.
I would say yes, because when you have these kids are going to, and it might not be millions and billions of dollars that they go on, but now these kids who could play in the SEC, could play in the Big Ten, they're going to smaller schools to get where the money is resting at. So, and then when you look at it, we look at it bigger pictures. Some of these smaller schools can hang with some of these big schools nowadays because the talent is being, and like Mondo said, the talent is being spread out. And I agree with 225 girl. Until they win multiple, you can't crown them yet. But I think the national championship, especially when they're going to 16 teams and want to do 24 and 87 and all this crazy numbers they want to come up with just to put everybody in the playoffs. Like this is March Madness. I think it's going to be the national championship is going to be spread out, not only through the Power Five, but they're going to be they're going to be spread out here eventually to these other teams that's getting this talent because like you competing for all this money going to Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, when I can just go down here to Furman or to Johnson C. Smith and get a little bit more, just a little bit more than asking, and bring that talent out. It only takes for a big name to go to a small school and say, "Hey, bro, listen, we building something over here." Okay, then that person tell 2 more people. Now you got an offensive line.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next question. Utah is the best team in the Big 12 right now. Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. That hands down, man. On both sides of the ball, I think Utah is the best team in the Big 12 right now. I think Willingham is finally going to get. I think he's finally going to win that championship bell in the Big 12. He's going to ring that championship bell in the Big 12 this year. Utah.
Hey, is there any other team in the Big 12 right now? That's a question I got. Hey, listen. Hey, I think Utah got, as of today, Utah handling business. I say yes.
I'm going to agree with y'all fellas. It's an agreement all across the board. It's a yes. Because Utah been knocking on that door for how many years? The last 3-4 years? They're about to kick that door down. So it's a yes for me.
I will say this: keep an eye on that. What's that? That little thing they got going on between Iowa and Iowa State, the Cyclone Cup. Keep an eye on that that game, and keep an eye on that Kansas and Missouri game, because if Kansas go down there and take care of business, like a lot of people are predicting them, then you can see Kansas, Iowa State, and maybe even BYU challenging Utah. But from my eye test, man, just on both sides of the ball, man, Utah is just head and shoulders above everybody else in that Big 12. All righty. Agent Smith picking the upset over Iowa. Okay. Florida State is a dangerous team in the ACC this season. I say yeah. And they're not the only dangerous team in the ACC. Go ahead, Sniper.
I say no, sir. I think they just had a good game on last Saturday. They played their hearts out because it was Alabama, but they ran against the Alabama team that's on the down low, and they still got a lot to prove. The ACC, as of right now, I think you got to look at Miami before you look at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at, even though Clemson lost, they still had some good moments in that game, and they played against the defense, but their defense didn't let LSU score that much. It was a low-scoring game. So before anybody starts saying Florida State, because they beat a team that's in controversy right now, you got other teams in the ACC that I think that's going to prove a point to say, listen, just because you beat Bama, that don't mean nothing when you come up here to Duke. When you come up here to Death Valley, it's going to be some hell to pay. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. Detroit?
I'm going to say yes. Just the reason why I say yes. So now you said all of that, that all sounds really good, right? Nobody, just like Georgia Tech, nobody, it was always Clemson and Miami. Clemson, Miami. That's all you heard. With a new offensive coordinator, hey, look, low my offense outscores your offense, and the final score say I win. It don't matter what that defense does. If you can't stop my offense, and they keep winning, hey, look, nobody was talking about Florida State. Everybody going into that game, everybody talking about Bama going to do this to Florida State. Bama going to do that to Florida State. What happened? Nobody gave Florida State a chance in that game. Nobody gave Florida State a chance in that game. Yeah, they're gonna be a problem in the ACC. Like I said, Florida State, since they got that Gus as the offense coordinator, they're gonna be a problem. So is Georgia Tech. And I said that before we did our pre-show last week. I said Florida State and Georgia Tech gonna be a problem in the ACC, and I'm sticking with it.
Armando,
Mm-hmm.
do you mind me using my
we are is 11 almost 11:30, man. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying,
Okay.
bro. We could do a deep dive debate later on this week on 2 Live, but just everybody's opinion for today. As of today,
I was about to hit him with that. Not so fast, my friend.
But it seems like the chat is agreeing with you, Sniper. They're saying further down the line, and Florida State is going to be brought back down to earth. But we'll see. I just think they have improved on both sides of the ball, and this is not the same Florida State team that we watched last year with the bid.
But it wasn't the same Alabama team that we've seen for many years. So that's the reason why we have to wait and see.
But that Alabama team came in with a lot of hype. There is talent on that team, and remember, they've been recruiting in the top 5, in the top 3. You still got some guys that on that team that Nick Saban recruited. So hey man, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out as the season goes on, But
yes, sir.
All right, keys to victory for South Florida today. This, right? A lot of people call it upset. D-Troop, a lot of people are calling upset, Sniper. So, in your opinion, what keys to victory for South Florida today?
Go ahead, D-Troop.
Go ahead. She said you first.
South Florida, you got to dig in. You got to dig in on that defensive line. You can't have any explosive runs, allow any explosive runs, and you have to be able to cover. And if they do, you have to tackle on point. You can't let no explosive plays. And I know everybody's going to be like, well, that's for every team. No, for this particular game, you got to dig in. I think the keys of victory for South Florida, they got to get at least 3 to 4 sacks this game. Set them behind the line. And I'm just saying that, be quick about it.
I'm going to put it this way. For Florida to be on for about 18.5 points, that says a lot about South Florida. That's a lot of respect for them, right? And like I said, when Auburn plays South Alabama next week, that would be a feather in their cap if South Florida go down to Gainesville and beat Florida. Oh, I know y'all two will have a field day with that one. Y'all have a field day with that one. But Florida cannot go in that game taking South Florida lightly. Because they will, because South Florida can and have the ability to beat Florida. Because think how many players on that South Florida team didn't get recruited by Florida, wanted to go to Florida, and how they feel. So that game, don't be surprised that game be close. But if Florida want to win that game, they got to put South Florida away early. And don't get that team no light. But South Florida, hey, they got, like I said, this is the second game of the year. Florida go there and take South Florida lightly. South Florida can wind up winning that game and don't be shocked.
I agree with both of you gentlemen, but I will add a little something to it. And a little bit, I'm going to just piggyback off what Agent Smith saying. Agent Smith said, stop the run game and offense, hit the tight ends, go on 4th down in the red zone. Yeah, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Because no one is expecting South Florida to beat Florida. So you have nothing to lose. Be aggressive on 4th down. If it's 4th and 2, go for it. If it's 4th and 3, and you have a good situation where Florida's not able to stop your tight end, go for it. Be a little bit more aggressive. especially from the 50-yard line on into the red zone. Shorten the game. Keep the ball on the ground, sustain long drives, keep Lagway and their Florida offense off the field. Don't give up any big plays to Lagway and Florida. Don't give up any big plays. Force him to beat you with his arm. Take away the running lanes. And I think, because all South Florida really has to do is keep this at a close margin. Kind of like what Kennesaw State did to Wake Forest. A game like that, Florida winning the game by a field goal or something like that, or by a couple of points. If South Florida can pull that off, then that will look damn good to the committee come December, because I don't think anybody else on South Florida's schedule, other than Miami, will be able to beat them. But losing to Miami and losing to Florida, SEC powerhouse, and in my opinion, the ACC potential ACC champions, I think the committee would take that into consideration and would still give them that 12th slot in the playoffs. So, yeah, shorten the game, don't give up any big plays, and keep it as close as possible in the fourth quarter.
Update alert to all my Georgia fans. This is a public service announcement. The game will start at 2:30 and not 3:30. The game will start at 2:30 and not 3:30 due to inclement weather. Public service announcement.
Yeah, it looks kind of ugly here in Georgia. Remember, we have a tropical storm headed toward the East Coast. So everyone, please be safe out there this weekend. Please be safe. If you have to go somewhere, go. If you don't have to go anywhere, just stay inside, because a storm could turn at any time. It could strengthen as the closer it gets to landfall. So yeah, we got some ugly weather here on the East Coast. Keys to victory for Oklahoma State today.
True.
Pray.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer. Pray. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: key to victory, right? Oklahoma State. Yeah, that could work, but I don't know. I don't know about that one right there. But I know the keys to victory to that game. Get a new head coach. Change things around. Get a new coach. I think he on war. I don't think that new coach have that the coach have ran the course at Oklahoma State. I think that situation ran the course. Although he is an alumni of Oklahoma State, he only got y'all so far. So that's the only thing. That's the only key to victory I got for them.
Y'all not giving this team no type of faith. I will be praying for Oklahoma State today, though, because it seemed like it's a butt whooping ready to already coming. Oklahoma State, listen, you all the way around the board. Nah, y'all need to pray. Y'all gonna have to pray. I don't think there's too much you can do, Oklahoma State, to win this game right here. Pray and hope that everybody comes out healthy. Is that a good key to victory? Everybody stay healthy. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one. Yeah. Everybody stay healthy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's about to get ugly quick.
Hey, it's sad when South Florida prospect is lower than Oklahoma State and Oregon.
I was gonna say that. I wasn't gonna. Hey man, I wasn't even gonna go there, man. I was gonna let one of y'all go there, but I wasn't even gonna go there. What my brother just said to all you Oklahoma State fans, that right there should tell you, look, it's time to start. We got too many good young, up and coming coaches, assistant coaches. We got a couple of them on our staff. Schumer, Bobo. You know, you got. I mean, it's so many young, capable head coaches that could go down there to Stillwater and turn their program around. Come on now. Remember, the definition of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. The man is not going to get you a national title. Hell, he ain't even going to get you a Big 12 title. He ain't going to get you no Big 12 title no time soon. It's time to change lanes, for real.
When did that time Oklahoma State was relevant?
Man, the pandemic, 2020. Oh. When they choked in that Big 12 championship game. I think it was to Baylor. They choked in the 2020 Big 12 championship game. All right. Keys to victory today for Kentucky. Another one right there. A lot of people got on upset alert. This game right here. Kentucky pulled off the miracle last year. Can they do it again today? And how should they go about doing it, Sniper?
It's going to come down to quarterback play because Ole Miss is upset. They are pissed. They are so mad right now. I bet you they don't care if they win another game as long as they beat Kentucky this week. I think, hey, Kentucky, you're gonna have to strap up because it's about to be a drawn out World War 15 in this mug. Because, like I said, Ole Miss is pissed. It's going to, but how you going to do it is going to come down to quarterback play, being able to control the game. It's not much you could do with the Ole Miss offense. It's not much you could. You just going to be in the right place at the right time. Defense is just going to have to be the right place at the right time. But when it comes down to the offense, you're going to have to have that. You're going to have to control the field. You're going to have to be in positive field the whole time because Ole Miss can score at will. And you don't want to get in the shootout with them.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this right here. With them playing on Miss, the key to victory is Kentucky. If your run game is on point, your run game, they can't stop you running the ball. Keep running the ball. Keep the Ole Miss offense off the field. Keep the Ole Miss offense off the field. Keep them off the field. That's how you're going to win the ball game. But I don't care how pissed Ole Miss is. If a team got your number, they got your number. And I think Kentucky has Ole Miss number. Run the ball. It's the key to victory for Kentucky today.
And I agree with you. Run the ball, shorten the game, make it ugly. Same advice I gave to South Florida. Keys to victory for Florida today, D-Truth.
Put Ledway in comfortable position so he won't have to think too much against South Florida. Run the ball and defense. Put pressure on South Florida quarterback and stop South Florida run game.
Sniper.
Let Legway play his game. If he want to run, let that brother run. If he want to pass, let that brother pass. If that brother want to sit down and bring a Gatorade bottle to the field, let him bring a Gatorade bottle. That is a bad boy right there. You know, I don't like talking about Florida so bad, but Legway is going to be something special. Let him play his game. Defense, you got to show up. Don't show up just to throw shoes across the field. You got to show up and you got to shut down in all aspects. You got to shut down, especially that South Florida run game. You're going to have to shut that down. But let Legway do his thing, though, for real.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. They definitely going to have to shut down that South Florida run game. Even if you have to commit to more men in the box, put 7 or 8 men in the box. And I think Florida has a good enough secondary to do that. So load the box, slow down that running game, and jump on them early. That's the advice, D-Truth. Jump on them early. Definitely. Jump on them early, Florida. You got to jump on them early and put them away early. A team like South Florida, you do not want them hanging around too long. Keys to victory for Ole Miss. Hotty-toddy today. They're on the road in Kentucky. So, Sniper, you being a Georgia fan, you know how it is at Kroger Field. Keys to victory for Ole Miss.
Get your 9 points to get up out of there, because that's all you get in a doggone Kroger Field. Because it seems like nobody can score and when they play Kentucky at their home on Kroger Field. But hey, listen, keys for victory. They got a new quarterback up. Let that quarterback do his thing. Y'all know, just like I said against when I said against Kentucky, Ole Miss can score at will if their quarterback is decent enough to do it. It takes 2-3 plays, and next thing you know, they're in the end zone. Keys of victory: keep what you got going on, Lane Kiffin. Keep what you got going on and make them work for every bit of it. But at the end of the day, hey, Ole Miss they pissed. Just don't let that get just don't let that overdo you or overcome you.
All right, D-True.
Well, I'm gonna say this: with Ole Miss, get Kentucky off the field as often as you can, and score as often as you can. Run that score up. That's basically it.
Well, I don't know about running the score, but I agree with you. You got to win the third down. That is what killed Ole Miss last year. They lost the third down battle. Kentucky was tearing them up on third down. They were extending drives and shorten the game. You do not want to shorten the game. If you Ole Miss, you want to stretch that field. You want to stretch that field, and you want to get Kentucky off the field on third down. You don't want them sitting there running here for getting 5 on first down, and you don't want to get into a situation where your defense is in a situation where it's 3rd and 2 all game long. That's what happened last year. So remember, Ole Miss, you were sitting at home in the month of December because of these guys. You lost 2 games last year. There were 3 games. You lost 3 games, but there were 2 you had no business losing. You had no business losing to Kentucky, and you had no business losing to Florida. You actually should have been 11-1. But hey, but you can redeem yourself today and come out of there with a victory.
Okay, with that right there. Well, Oregon, just do what you've been doing. Don't change nothing. You play Oklahoma State, who is really an underdog. Just do what you got to do, and just try to get out of that game with no hurt players. Just go in there and do what you've been doing. Don't change nothing. Just go in there and do what you got to do, because Oklahoma State, you're at home. Go ahead and put them away. Put them away early so you get some other players some playing time.
Snipe.
This is today's game against Oregon and Oklahoma State is a personal. It got real personal real quick
between the coaches.
Between the coaches.
Yep.
This game right here is as small as it might seem. I do believe that this is going to be a battle.
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a one-way battle because you called out a coach that said you paid pay to play, and the controversy we talk about the other side. The only key to victory is that Oregon. I just don't hope you beat them too bad that they don't want to come out and play no more. Okay, I want to see what this new quarterback can do. I want to see what this new what this offense look like. I think it's going to be an offensive play from the center all the way to the receivers, running back. It's going to be the offensive play is going to help them win this game. But golly, if y'all heard the shots fired this week between these two coaches, oh boy, it's about to get ugly quick.
And speaking on that, keys to victory. My opinion, I wouldn't, do the opposite of what Dan Lanning wants to do and just get out of it. Look, when you get up by 35-0, when you get up on them by 30 points, man, rest your starters. Going out there trying to embarrass somebody, man, you're not proving it. You're still going to be 2-0. It's still going to look, it's still going to count as a 1 in the win-loss column. So, but I already know what Dan Lanning is going to do. Dan Lanning is going to try to embarrass this man. Dan Lanning is going to try to drop 80 points on that Oklahoma State team today. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly early, and it's going to get ugly often, and it's going to get ugly fast. And it's going to be a runaway train go through Eugene today. Pray for Oklahoma State.
Please, Lord.
Keys to victory for Michigan tonight. This is the main event.
And I'm going to say the keys to victory for Michigan is it's going to be in the trenches this time. Oklahoma has improved its defense and offensive line. So on both sides of the ball, it's going to be in the trenches. Can you keep Underwood upright throughout the whole game? Can you give him time to pass the ball? Are you going to open up holes for the running backs? Are you going to shut down the holes for Oklahoma's running backs? It's going to be in the trenches this game. I think this is going to be like you said, the main event. This is going to be one of the best games for tonight.
I'm gonna say this right with Michigan. The keys to the game: run the ball, pass it when you have to, get out the field on third down on defense. Keep your offense back there. No turnovers unless you're on defense. Try to make some turnovers. Stay ahead of the chain.
Make it an ugly game. Make it an ugly game. Win third down. Get Oklahoma, get John Mateer off the field on third down. And you have to win third down battles on offense. Do not put the game on Underwood's shoulder. Okay, this is going to have to be a team effort because BVD is real. And what I mean by BVD, that Brent Venables defense is real. Ask Nick Saban. Ask Mark Rick. Ask Jimbo. BVD ain't no joke. Ask Ryan Day. Brent Venables' defense is no joke. That's a defensive guru. Keys to victory for Oklahoma tonight, sniper. You got to unmute, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I had to unmute. I was over here just chatting away. Oklahoma, hey, you say you back. Do your thing. I think, again, it's going to be, for both teams, it's going to be in the trenches. More the defense, like you mentioned earlier. Armando, is that defense has got to stand tall. You cannot give up big explosive plays, especially on the running plays. You got to get back there and you got to make Underwood. He's a true freshman. A true freshman. You got to treat him as a true freshman. Don't let him get out there and embarrass you. So it's going to be on that defense.
D True. Keys to victory for Oklahoma tonight.
I'm gonna put it like this right here. Just like with Michigan State ahead of the chain, have less turnovers, and don't commit too many stupid penalties. And just play your game. Whatever you got your game plan, stick with it. And go to halftime, make a halftime adjustment. That's it.
Okay. All right, fellas. Look like we getting ready to go into our game picks.
And
game prediction.
And last week, the two big winners of last week. You had AJ Smith pick with us last week. Him and you knew went 3-2. Me and Sniper went 2-3, and I know you're bringing up the rear at 1-4.
Yeah. You know what, man? I have a history of starting off slow because you only can go by, the preseason rankings and what you don't really know. But as the season go on, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm finna put in that work. Starting today, Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt, Sniper.
To make this quick, because time is short, we're going Virginia Tech. Give me them Hoagies.
All right. D True.
I'm going Vandy.
Blacksburg at night. Oh, I'm going with the Hokies.
I'm going Vanderbilt.
I love you.
Huh? I'm going with the Hokies. I'm going Virginia Tech. Blacksburg at night. Yeah. Okay. Next game. South Florida, Florida. Some people are predicting the upset, D True.
Guess what?
Say you?
Although I like South Florida chances, but Ladway gonna have a field day with South Florida. I'm going Florida.
Snipe.
Hold on. Upset alert. Upset alert. South Florida.
He picking with his heart. I think Florida will win. D-True, put me down for Florida, but closer than the experts think. I don't think Florida's gonna cover that 18-point spread.
18.5.
18.5. They're not covering that. Because South Florida's a running team. It's hard to blow out a running team. All right, now this one is going to be very interesting. If I'm an Auburn fan, I got my eyes glued to this one. SMU travels down to Waco. SMU versus Baylor. An old school Southwest Conference battle. Taking SMU, but close. Very, very close. D-True?
I'm going to ride with you because with that right there, with that game right there, I got to go SMU because they are who they say they are with last year. They almost did their thing last year and made it to the playoff. If it wasn't that for the loss to Clemson.
Snipe.
Give me Baylor. They was battle tested they was battle tested on Saturday. I think Baylor got something to prove that they not no slouch. Give me Baylor.
And that damn Amazon receiver they got is hard to stop, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor won that game. Okay, UK Ole Miss D Troop. We're gonna start off with you, brother. The revenge game. Who you got in this one?
I got Kentucky. Like I said, with a team got your number, they went down to Ole Miss and did it to them in Ole Miss. I can't see Ole Miss returning the favor. Kentucky.
Snipe.
Ole Miss is pissed. Give me Ole Miss.
Hey man, it's just something about they've had this game circled for a minute, D Troop. I'm gonna have to roll with Ole Miss, bro. They are pissed. So the Ole Miss.
Hey, you better be pissed. You can be pissed, but you still gotta go out there and play the ball game.
Exactly. Okay, the Cy-Hawk Trophy game. Snipe. Who you got in this one, brother?
Give me the Hawkeyes.
Okay, y'all going bold this morning, bro. Y'all going bold this morning. Who you got?
Guess what? You know what happened to see when a storm come brewing and the storm come through, them Hawks start to go another way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give them the Cyclones.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to roll with Cyclones, man. I like it's gonna come down to coaching, and I think Campbell is pretty much a better coach than Prince. But Iowa's coach is a defensive guru. Iowa State head coach, man. He calls some plays, man. And I could see him going to a bigger program. I could see him ending up at a bigger program in a couple of years because he's kind of young. All right, Mississippi State, Arizona State, man. Some people call him potential upset here. Well, hey, what say you, D-True? We're gonna have an upset here.
No upset this week. I had to go with Arizona State. I gotta go with the Arizona State Devils. I gotta go with them. ASU.
Snipe.
He on mute
Mississippi State.
He taking the Bulldogs.
All right, man. I'm going with I'm going with Arizona State, but I do not think that Arizona State's going to cover that spread. I think it's going to be like a field goal or a 1-point win or something like that. All right, man. Nico, look, man, if he go out there and lay an egg in this one right here, man, I think his career's over with. I don't think he'll be able to recover. I don't think he'll be able to recover from this D-True. Sniper, I'm sorry. Sniper, your turn. UNLV, UCLA, man.
Give me UNLV. Them boys they gonna make some noise tonight.
And I gotta go agree with a Sniper. UNLV.
Yeah, I'm rolling with UNLV, man. They're just a better team. They played with their food last week, but I think you're gonna see the real UNLV tonight. And Dan Mullen's gonna have that team ready and motivated. Give me the running Rebels. All righty. All right.
Do we have to? Come on, man. Come on. Do we really have to pick this game? I know.
I think it's gonna be this.
Think of the easy pick.
This game, this game right here is gonna remind me of the Mike Tyson Alex Stewart game. Alex Stewart fight. Remember when Mike Tyson came out that lost to Buster Douglas? He had to fight Alex Stewart, and that commercial was like at the end, pray for Alex Stewart, pray for Oklahoma State, because Oregon is about to dissect them for 4 quarters. Dan Lanning is gonna do some petty stuff today. I think he's gonna be calling pass plays in the 4th quarter. Yeah, give me Oregon by a mile today. Oregon.
I'll take Oregon too. Snipe.
You know, this is one of them games that I don't want to see. This is one of those horror movies that it's just too much blood, too much bone breaking, people being broken half. No, I don't want to see this game. Give me Oregon.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I would have put Oregon across the board for everybody. See, I'm gonna tell you what Agent Smith picks right quick before you do this one. Virginia Tech, he took Virginia Tech, he took South Florida, he took Baylor, he took Kentucky, he took Iowa, he took Arizona State, he took UCLA, and he took Oregon.
No. Okay. All right. Now this one right here. We saw what happened with Wake Forest last Friday. Oh man, hey man, hey, look there, hey, I know Snapper Power like Mondo, what the hell you doing here? Putting Kennesaw State in India. Look, hey, go pull that Wake Forest game tape up. That's what I'm telling you.
10-9.
I got Indiana, but I think it's gonna be closer than what the experts think, and definitely closer than what Vegas thinks. Yeah, but give me Indiana on this.
I'm going Indiana too for what they did to Wake Forest, and they went to Wake Forest and did it. Man, look, the NIL is some serious, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is.
Hey.
It'll ruin your parlay if you ain't careful. If you ain't got to do your homework nowadays, bro. You got to do your homework.
Hey, listen. Hey, look, I keep this nice and sweet. I really want to do this. You know what? I don't even care about my I'm going for the upset. I think Kennesaw State is going to be like, hey, Kennesaw, we almost had this team. Let's carry it over to the next team. Give me Kennesaw State. Give me them Owls.
He going to Owl, bro. He going to Owl.
Hey, listen. And this game's at Kennesaw State.
It's at Indiana.
Kennesaw State good for going to somebody else's house and eating up all their food. Give me that Kennesaw State.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Would I be surprised if Kennesaw State wind up beating Indiana? No, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, they had Wake Forest on the ropes for 4 quarters, man. 10-9. Yeah, they barely got up out of there. Time ran out. Okay, the main event of the evening: Michigan versus Michigan goes down to Norman, Oklahoma, and I'm gonna start it off like this. Michigan, they got a nice squad. Bryce Underwood is going to be, I think he'll be a future Heisman. But there's no way that I see a true freshman quarterback. As good as he is, I just don't see a true freshman quarterback going into Norman tonight, at night, and beating that Oklahoma defense, that Brent Venables defense. This ain't about Oklahoma, D-True. This is about what I know what Brent Venables defense does in big games like this. Give me Oklahoma.
Well, I'm going to say it like this. If Oklahoma offense can't go and Michigan do what they're supposed to do, you know what you do with the young quarterback in that type of situation? Run the ball. Make Oklahoma start the run game. Take the pressure off the young man. I'm taking Michigan.
Well, I'm just we hit this right on time. It looks like Trey Young picked Oklahoma. I'm going with Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma got what it takes, especially in that defense. And I think it's going to take all 12 rounds. This is going to be a fight for your life. But I think that the young man Underwood's going to do a great job. He's going to do what he got to do. But at the end of the game, when those minutes click down, it's going to be Oklahoma on top. Give me OU.
And this right here, Oklahoma beats Michigan tonight. This is going to set up an epic showdown between Auburn and Oklahoma on the 20th, because I do believe both of them will be undefeated going into that game. Yes, sir. All right.
I don't know who Agent Smith to Oklahoma or Michigan. So
that's a tough one. I look, man, I just decided this morning who I was gonna go with.
He took Michigan too. So
he going with Michigan.
Yeah.
He going with Michigan.
I thought I won a lot more games last week than I did this. I need to make sure you wrote it down right. You need to send it to me.
Hold on. You took Ohio State, you took Syracuse, you took Florida State, you took Notre Dame, you took Clemson. Syracuse, Notre Dame, Clemson lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what you say my record was?
2-3, just like mine.
2-3.
Mm-hmm.
You don't worry about it.
Amongst our panel, you knew was in first place, but you add Agent Smith to it, they tied for first place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What game? Hey, so what game? What game are y'all going to start off with at the 12:30 hour? So we real quick.
Oh, that's all though. We done picked all the games.
No. What game you're going to watch that we did not mention today? What game are you going to watch that we did not mention?
Man, whichever one's on ABC. In Kentucky and Ole Miss playing first.
You got San Jose State of Texas playing right now on ABC.
You got Duke and Illinois playing right now.
That's the one. That's the one
I'm watching right now.
That's the one I'm watching right now.
Iowa State come on at 12. Baylor and SMU come on at 12. That's on Fox and
I'll be watching. I'll be flipping back. Yeah, I'll be watching. Got my eye on that one too. The Baylor, SMU, and the Duke and Illinois game. Brett Bielema. Look, man. People ain't really talking about Illinois like that. You are in the top 10. You got to earn them stripes today. Illinois got. If Illinois needs to go to Durham today and make a statement and show the college football world that you belong in the conversation with Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State in the Big Ten. Because right now, they're only talking about Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. You want to add your name to that conversation, you got to go down now, and you got to win decisively against that Duke team today.
Right now, Duke is running all over. Then they got a 15-yard penalty for face mask.
All right, fellas. Get your final thoughts, Sniper. I know you got to roll up out of here real quick. Final thoughts, brother.
Hey, listen. Don't give up. Oh, this is what I really want to say. Stop giving these young kids until they play all this hype. It only thing it does is damage them in the long run, because now they feel as though they got to live up to this hype, and it could be their downfall. Not every kid could take what the media is saying, what the fans are saying, and make that into a positive. Be careful. I know this not a student athlete anymore because of the NIL deal, but at the end of the day, we're talking about 17, 18, 19-year-old young men. Not men, young men.
Yeah, some of them boys, some of them 17.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100%.
On that note, go Dogs.
Go Dogs! Enjoy your Saturday, bro. Be safe.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
I'm going to say this right here.
I may have to call you and vent now. I look at that Austin P. Middle Tennessee State highlights now. I might have to call you and vent now, Sniper.
I would say this right here. For all the games, the first 2 games of the season, you can't take no team. You really cannot take no team like that. I don't care what part of the season it is because of the NIL. Because some of these teams got players on there that wanted to go to a certain school, but they get looked at. They got something to prove. So, hey, shout out to everybody, and I hope every team that plays and the players that are playing come out healthy in these ball games. That's all I got to say. And War Damn Eagle.
Okay, can't leave that out. All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. Hey, it's been a hell of a show, fellas. Sniper, D True. Thank you, both of you, for joining me here on the panel. We had a great show today. We went through everything. We did pretty much a post-game within the kickoff show, we did a post-game wrap-up of week 1, and then we went into the Q&As, and we did our picks. So everyone, thank you all for coming out. Like I said, if you're on the East Coast, please be safe. We have a tropical storm headed this way. Enjoy the rest of your college football Saturday, everyone. For those of you, hey, if you agree with our picks, leave a comment in the comment section. If you disagree with our picks, leave a comment in the comment section. But most importantly, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Everyone, thank you for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your college football Saturday. And take care of yourselves and each other. And like I always say, go Dogs! Sick 'em! Woo, 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 woo. Enjoy your college football Saturday, everyone. Be safe. Love you all.
Woke up early, sun shining bright. Got the flag, got the fight. Ready for the big game today. College football fever. Yeah. Dugouts packed, the crowd's alive, cheerleaders spinning, waving flags. Game day magic feels like home with Mondo, D-Truth, Lulu, and Sniper on the mic. Are you ready for some college football Saturday? Let's cheer for our team, feeling the thrill of the game. Screaming, jumping, never slowing down. Together we're unstoppable. Can't you feel the fun? Marching band, drums rolling out, tailgating, burgers cooking good. The field's lit, the energy's high. We're ready, let's make history. Coach is yelling, players running fast from Texas to Notre Dame, Georgia, Clemson, USC, Tennessee, Bama to Ohio State, defending their crown. The final whistle, the crowd roars. Victory we won, it's all worth it. High fives, hugs, we're all one. College football fever, we own it. Are you ready for some college football Saturday? Let's cheer for our team, feeling the thrill of the game. Screaming, jumping, never slowing down. Together we're unstoppable. Can't you feel the fun? Mondo, D-Truth, you kill.